All right, guys. So here is a Euro USD 5-minute strategy that we're going to share with you. By the way, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional spokesperson, so I may stutter here and there. But this is what's working for us. So I'm not, once again, not a professional spokesperson, video maker, any of that. So bear with me. All right, guys. Before we get started here. This is our copyright notice. Any material that you view in this video is copyrighted, and you do not have permission to share this with anybody outside of our group, nor do you have permission to redistribute any of this information on this video. This video and all materials are possession and property strategy vault. We're sharing this with you in hopes that you can take something away with it. And I do have to inform you that your IP address when you view this video is being recorded, and if we find, as we have in the past, that people have stolen our property and our strategies and are selling them on the internet, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Now that the nasty part's over, let's get rolling. All right, so first and foremost, I'm gonna have to keep pausing this video and switching between screens because my computer with multi-monitors doesn't have a microphone. So this is my other computer. So first and foremost, we have to start with the disclaimer. I'm sure everybody's fully aware that I do have to advise you that you can and will lose money trading. Any trading whatsoever involves substantial risks. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. All that blah 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 blah. This is what the government says I have to tell you, so this is what you're seeing. So take your time, read it, understand that I make no representations whatsoever that you will even make one dime doing this. It has a large potential for big rewards, but also it has a large potential for big losses. So enter at your own risk, and like I said, take your time, read this, and know that I take no responsibility for anything that happens in your trading. All right, so we're going to start here with pretty much a naked chart of the Euro USD. Follow my cursor here. It's a minute chart. And I'm going to show you how I have it set up. So first off, I have Heiken Ashi candles set up. This is a trading view chart, okay? So in order to change that, you just go right here to candles, Heiken Ashi. See, if you go regular candles, see that's how can you see how this is just red, green, red, green, red? You can't really, this Heiken Ashi, it clears it up. I mean, it shows a direct direction that the market is going, instead of all this indecision. So, okay, so we're starting with the naked chart of the Euro USD. Next thing that, our first thing that we're gonna add on there is Bollinger Bands. And I've got it set up here. So these are the Bollinger Bands, and okay, so now the settings on the Bollinger Bands, I'm going to go to settings and show you on the inputs. I have a 19 EMA moving average and a standard deviation of 3. So the standard deviation of 3 is pretty big, but I'm going to show you here. So we'll just leave that here. Now let me see if I can pull this up. This is a standard deviation. Let me see if I can move that for you. Okay, standard deviation bell, and so standard deviation is anything numbers that move. They want to go back. So with the standard deviation of 3 that we have our Bollinger Bands set at, right here to here, there is a 99. Hold on, let me make that better. Okay, so there is a 99.7% chance that price is going to stay in this area right here between the +3 and the -3. That is why we have the Bollinger Band set at a standard deviation of 3. So, meaning that price will deviate either way, positive or negative, from the mid price level. Okay, so that being said, that's why we have our Bollinger Band set at a standard deviation of 3. Okay, so now we'll go back to the chart here. Okay, so this is a standard. This is a +3, -3. Okay. Now the next thing that we're going to add on, okay, and as you can see, also I'm going to go here right here. I'm jumping around here. So we also have the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and as you can see, all price does is it goes to overbought, and then it works its way back down to oversold. Okay, oversold. So when it bottoms out like this, like that there, it's at the 20 level. I also have this set on turned on over here, which is right where the level is right now. This is at 36.76, and a lot of people go, well, this is a 30 level and this is a 70 level. So price usually goes right in between the 30 and the 70. So a lot of people believe that at 30 it is oversold, okay, and then at 70 it is overbought, right? Okay, so we know that price is just going to move right in between these lines on the relative strength indicator. Okay, so the next indicator that I use is turn those on. Keltner channels. Okay, so Keltner channels show support and resistance. Price once it goes outside the Keltner channel, this middle Keltner here, it's also running with your 19 EMA, is like a magnet. Price gets sucked right back to it. It always wants to go back to that middle. See right there, that middle Keltner channel. And when price gets up by that middle Keltner channel, that's when you gotta be watching it. If it goes above that middle Keltner channel, most of the times it keeps on going, or vice versa. If it goes below the middle Keltner channel, it keeps on going. And outside, see how it goes outside the Keltner channel? Okay, so that being said, that's how we set up our charts. And of course we have volume down here. You can see the strength of volume. A lot of people ask about the tick chart that we use on Nadex. Okay, here's let's see, Nadex. Okay, so I have the tick chart open. So this is the tick chart. Now the difference between the tick chart is it's per tick. It's not a minute chart. This is how price moves. And right now it is where I'm at. It is 3:28 in the afternoon on a Friday. So as you can see, the market's moving pretty slow on a Friday. Everybody's went home, everybody's clocked out for the weekend. But this is the time that I had time to make a video for you. So also on this, how I have this chart set up, my Nadex chart here. Now another thing is you can detach these from Nadex, so you can have this, you can minimize this down here with all your other stuff. Or all right, let me show you here. Okay, so if you go up right here, I believe that's it. Okay, so you can detach this and open it up in a complete another screen. Well, I don't know if it's going to allow me because the problem is this the exchange is closed. Wow. Let's see. Maybe Euro USD. Maybe I'll pull that chart back up. Well, nice. Well, I shouldn't have done that. Anyhow, so anyway, that's how we use the tick chart. It shows. So actually, I will do since the markets are closed and we can't look at that chart, I will show you. But anyway, that's not the bread and that's not the meat and the potatoes. That's just something, another verifier that we look at as far as it shows the momentum. It shows momentum. It shows how fast price is moving. It shows how fast it's going up and how fast it's going down. Okay, so we'll go back. Okay, so we'll go back. So now this is our chart. This is a minute chart, and as you can see, price the same with the RSI. Actually, we're going to show. So we watched the tick chart over there, which shows the momentum behind the move. Now, another thing that we also do, I want you to take a look at this chart. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something else here. I'm going to pull up this chart here. Okay, so we're going to continue. Okay, so now I'm going to have to reload this because we changed everything. So we're going to reload it, and it should load everything that was just okay. Now, let me open this up, and we're going to go down, and we're going to pull up. Okay, so close that. This is the dollar index. Okay, so I want you to look at that. There's a dollar index. Okay, we have the same settings here. This is the Bollinger Bands. This is a 3 deviation, minus 3 deviation, Keltners, right? Okay, so this is the dollar index. Now, and like I said, on my other computer with the dual monitors, I have both of these screens open at the same time, and I watch them. So as you can see, this is the dollar. The dollar is oversold. So, okay, so now we're going to look at that. What time is that? Approximately 15:21, right? The dollar is oversold. Now, I'm going to show you, now watch the Euro USD. At approximately, where is it? 50, hold on. 15:21. What are we seeing there? The euro is oversold. So the euro, okay, I just screwed up. The dollar was overbought, the euro is oversold. So see, these two, the US dollar and the Euro USD, they move in opposite of each other on the charts, which is, so if one is oversold, you know that the other one's going to be overbought, or vice versa. So now, so I monitor both of that. Now, so you're asking, okay, great, where do I get in? What kind of entry? Okay, so what I look for when I make my entry is I look for, well, okay, let's just look right here. So at 1 o'clock, 1:50 today, okay, the Euro USD was overbought. Okay, we're way overbought here. Now look at this. See where that candle is? It's outside of the top Keltner, and it's in between the top Keltner and the top Bollinger Band. This is what I call the spot, the sweet spot right here. Okay, not all the time is it going to. You're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to wait. This is a justification of your trade. But okay, so we saw this candle here. Now the next thing that you have to wait for, I'm not saying take a trade right there when this gets outside of these two, in between these two channels, the Keltner channel and the top Bollinger. I'm not saying take your trade, right? Okay, what I'm saying is you then watch your candles. Okay, we know we're overbought down here. We know we're over, we're outside we're above resistance. This would be resistance, right? So it broke resistance. Okay, so, and we know that there is, what was it, a 99.7% chance it's gonna stay inside here, guys, right? So here we are. So now this can't. Now this was a big bullish candle, right? But this one wasn't. We're losing momentum. And actually, what you would see on the tick chart, on the Nadex tick chart, is that tick would start. Watch my cursor. It would just start going down. Okay, your tick chart would start going down. Okay, so that's a weaker candle, and this is even a weaker candle. And actually, one of my mentors calls this a Pinocchio because it's a liar. It's a liar. That's the nose. Okay, because that candle, what it did, it tried to go all the way up here. Price tried to come all the way, but it was rejected, so it lied. Okay, this right here is a doji. Okay, so actually, if this was a bearish candle, that would be your confirmation candle, but that's not. This is your confirmation candle right here. This is a bearish candle. Okay, and on the tick chart, your tick would be headed straight down. Okay, so now when price is at this area right here, then you look for a strike on Nadex. You look for that strike. This is a minute chart. You can either do an out of the money, okay, or an at the money. Okay, so right in here, so we would have got in right here. And another thing that I'm going to tell you right here and now is never hold to, unless you are an expert at reading price action, never hold till expiration. I don't care if you're doing a 5-minute trade, a 20-minute trade, an hour trade. Never hold till expiration unless it has just completely bottomed out to where there is no chance in hell that it's going to come back up, because this moves very fast. Like I said, I showed you just a few seconds ago. In the afternoon, it isn't moving for nothing. But I tell you what, in the morning, and that's when I trade, is just a couple hours every morning. I'm done usually by 11 my time every day. That's the only time I trade. I come home, you know, I start early in the morning around 6 o'clock, and I'm done by 11. So anyway, so you've got to watch the momentum behind the move, okay? And like, oh crap, that's crap. I hate that stuff when it pops up. Okay, so anyway, so then you need to pay attention to your candles, okay? So that's a stronger bearish, stronger bearish, stronger bearish, stronger bearish. Now look here. Now we know that, okay, so this wick comes way down here and it got rejected, okay? So then this wick came way down here and up here, got rejected, rejected. So we know something's getting ready. So actually, and look here, just like I said, price wants to go back to the middle blue Keltner, right? So it broke the Keltner, okay? But then it turned around right there, and then it came on down, and then it stayed below, okay? So we know the price is staying below the Keltner. But this is crap. I wouldn't even screw with that right there, okay? I know it's below the middle blue Keltner, but we're not. This right here is a sweet area in my strategy. And it doesn't matter my strategy. It doesn't matter if I give you the best strategy in the world that I've made millions from. It's all on how you manage it. It's all on how you manage your money. Sorry about those pop-ups. You manage your money and you manage your trade. That's what it's about. It's not the strategies. It's you. It's the psychology. You know, this is greed, and this is fear. Okay, fear, greed, fear. That's all it is. That's all it is. These are people's emotions, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so anyway, so it doesn't matter if like I said, if I show you the best indicator, the best anything, it's all on how you manage your trade and how well you read your candles, you know, and when you decide to get out of the trade, like I said, my advice to you is never stay in until expiry, because price turns around at the flip of a dime, especially in 5-minute binary options. You know, I really don't do a whole bunch of 5-minute binary options anymore, you know, because they're just too risky and they blow up accounts. Now, I understand that everybody works and a lot of people don't have a lot of time to trade, but you know, if you work all day, there's the Asian session. You know, the Asian session doesn't move as fast as the Euro USD session or the NYE New York the New York session. Okay, it doesn't move as fast. Okay, but I'm sure that this strategy will work as well in the Asian session. So anyway, so what I want you to do, let me draw something here for you. We're just gonna, I want to find a box. You know, okay, a box. So we're gonna draw a box. Here's your box, right? Now, look at that. Okay, so that box starts at 1346 and 1549. So now we're gonna go right back over here. And we're gonna draw. Now this is the dollar. Okay. Allow me to move it around here. TradingView has an excellent chart, by the way. What I have found is the close of the candle right up here. The closing price of this candle here is going to be your closest to Nadex. So anyway, so let's go back here. We're gonna draw that rectangle again. Okay, so we're gonna start it at 1346. Whoop, darn it, I didn't want to start it. Okay. 1346. Hold on here. 13. 1 second. 48. 1346. And we take it to 1521, right? Was what we did. And there was no 1521. Now, what I'm trying to show you here is that, so in the box, what I want you to take out of here is in the box, the two boxes are the same time frame, but they'll be opposite, okay? So this would be bullish, and this will be bearish, okay? So let's go look. Now, let's just focus on like this candle at 1347, okay, on the euro. Okay, that's the dollar. So we know that's bearish. So over here. So 1347. Oh, look at that. So on the dollar, see, we're right at 1347 down here. 1347. So on the dollar, it was bearish, right? And then it went. See how it's just totally opposite. So see how you need to be watching the dollar, because the dollar dictates what everything else does. So anyway, so it's bullish, and we go back to the dollar, and here we are, 1347, bearish. That proves my point. That shows you. Now, another thing here is, can I get rid of that? Let's just remove that drawing. Okay, so now, so we are, this price here is in the sweet spot, right? On the dollar, which we can't just trade the dollar on Nadex. So let's just go back to over here to the euro. So this price here is in the sweet spot that I'm talking about. The sweet spot is above the upper blue Keltner and right below the upper Bollinger Band, or the 3 deviation. So right here, sweet spot, way oversold. Price has no place to go unless, of course. Now, another thing that I wanted to mention to you was news. This strategy will not work when there's news. And if anybody's ever traded around news, you know as well as I do how fast the market moves, either up or down. So anyway, so the sweet spot, and then you verified it by your RSI, okay? And then we know that it is overbought. And we know that price only has one way to go, right? So right there. So now you go to your Nadex and you look for a strike at, well, over here, look to your right, 1273, which normally you probably, I don't know. It depends on, let's see, probably get around 1272, 1274, which is fine. So 1274 is out of the money. 1272 is in the money, right? It just depends. You go to Nadex, you look for that strike, and then once you take that trade, it's up to you to monitor it and use your money management. Now that's the same thing we were looking at before. Okay, let's look over here. Okay, so yeah, this would have been a good, okay, but look down here. That's not 100%. I wouldn't have probably took that trade because it's just not, it doesn't look that good. We're not overbought by any means, right? Same here. We are overbought here, but look at your price action. That's not, no, I would stayed out of this. But yeah, price did come down here. Okay. Now another thing that I forgot to mention is it's likewise when you are oversold. Same thing. Sweet spot. Oversold. Anyway, oversold, right? You look straight down. We're oversold. We're in the sweet spot. And then you got to watch your price, okay? Watch for don't forget confirmation. You always have to have confirmation. So let's look over here. So we're oversold, okay? I'd watch that. That would definitely. I'm watching this like a predator, okay? So I'm seeing what I want right here. We're oversold. In between we're in the sweet spot. We got that candle, that wouldn't have convinced me, but that one right there would have, and then I would have jumped on it. Okay, so once again, this is a 5-minute strategy. It doesn't matter how well it works for me. It's how you make it work for you. Period. I can't trade for you, but this is a lot of good information for you, and this actually works. Now in the group, I put a post that we haven't shared anything because this group was created for everybody to share stuff. You know, we're supposed to come together. That's why it's free. You know, we were all trying to conquer this trading on Nadex, you know, and nobody shared anything. So a couple members sent me messages and asked me to share a strategy, and I am sharing it. So I would love if you guys would share some results, share some strategies. That's what we're about. We're trying to be a team and work together. You know, we get things done as a team. Everybody has success when you're on a team. The team wins, everybody wins. The team loses, everybody loses. So right now, you know, I need everybody to share and run the group and be part of the group like it was created. Okay, so I'm out. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm excited to hear about your success or not success, you know, with this strategy. If you have some questions, you know, shoot me a message. We're all here. This is James with Strategy Vault. I'm out. Have a good weekend. Thank you.